Hey everybody, I have made a few more discoveries on the cutting room floor of the AVP2 beta demo. First up is the Facehugger tail whip. Did you have any idea that the Facehugger used to have a working tail whip attack in AVP2? And it turns out it is pretty deadly too, at least in the beta demo. I was pretty surprised to see this fully functional. It's probably fairly easy to re-implement it in vanilla AVP2 again. Don't mind the facehugger pouncing. It's just some bug. I don't think that they meant to leave that on at all. But, yep, you can pounce as a facehugger in the demo, that's for sure. Here's the chest burster. There isn't much different here, except for the chest burster being kind of deadly, more deadlier than vanilla AVP2. Next, I'm going to show you the Rykov boss, which is really raw in the beta demo. You'll see that he has no head, but what's interesting about him is that he's limited to only the minigun arm and the rocket launcher arm. He doesn't use any other weapons. And then this is the only character I've seen that actually uses the Exosuit death animations. Both of them. Which is kind of interesting.
I always wanted to drive one of these.
Now it is time to try the beta Exosuit, which had some surprises for me. For example, you can see that there is laser ammo, and the HUD is a little bit different. Every time I enter the Exosuit, it always gives me maxed out ammo too. The other thing is the energy always starts off at 0, and the energy doesn't seem to be used for anything besides movement, but then I don't really notice it affecting the movement. So I have no idea what the energy is really doing. But we know in the final game that energy and laser beams had the same ammo source. This Exo HUD closely resembles what was released in the final game. It doesn't really look much like the HUD that was shared by the Monolith dev alls. Although I think that beta one looked kind of better than this and the final version. Still draws HUD elements in chase view or third person. Kind of weird how there's like a flamethrower sprite just hanging out in the middle. It seems like every time I get in there, it gives me ammo too. I'm also taking damage because the beta demo has telefragging. And I don't know what's happening there, but it's kind of like I'm telefragging myself by turning into the Exosuit character or something like that. That's what I think is what's going on. Because I always take damage when I jump into the suit. I do have God mode on. Because otherwise I would be dead. And finally, we're going to look at just a battle between Marines and Predators. And unwelcome guests. I don't really have much else besides these fight scenes. I just wanted to see how the AI works in the beta demo, and sure enough, it is kind of crappier than what shipped merely months later after this beta demo was released. You should be able to spot some of the differences here in the battle just by watching it. But the Marines, they're just kind of clueless. I definitely think the AI is smarter in the final game, just by a little bit. Most of the AI really relies on getting scripted well. I thought it was interesting that the Marines just kind of fire random grenades every now and then. And that's all. Enjoy these fight sequences between Preds and Marines.
I always wanted to drive one of these. I always wanted to drive one of these.
Let me know what you thought of this in the comments.
I always wanted to drive one of these.